Hey everyone, I'm coming to you from my kitchen again. I have decided to make another video and I wanted to, now that my kids think that I think I'm a fancy YouTube star. I wanted to talk today a little bit about the mental game. Not only the mental game of pitching, you guys know why, a lot of you know why I love sports so much, pitching in particular, because it's such a good training for life. There are so many times that I've pulled from skills that I learned from pitching or on the field to apply to jobs, to marriage, to kids, to juggling everything. So I wanted to talk about the reality of right now. I think just this weekend, the gravity of this situation really hit me, especially last night when I think that we let our minds run to when are we done? When is this going to stop? What is this going to look like? I think that we're nervous. I think we're anxious. I think that we're some of the newness is wearing off. Like at first it was nice to be home and it was nice to have my kitchen constantly clean, which usually doesn't happen, and laundry done. But then I think that we're really starting to in some ways grieve what isn't normal. I know that I've heard from some families that JO volleyball has been canceled for the season. I know that right now my son's summer hockey is on hold, which he was so excited about, and we were so excited for him to be able to make that team. I know that we're all in limbo about what's going to happen with junior high and high school softball season. And then we all start to think about, well, what happens for the summer season? So that's why I wanted to talk with you about mental and the mental game and what I think that you guys, what I think good, effective, smart pitchers are doing right now. I think that you need to accept your reality and accept that there's a lot of things I think you need to accept. I think you need to accept that that if season gets canceled, no amount of work is going to make up for or take place of what this season was going to look like. So I think that in your heart, you've got to understand that, and you've got to be okay with that. I think that you've got to accept that you're not really sure when you're going to take the field again. But I think that there's such an amazing lesson in that, because I know some of you I've told, like, I didn't appreciate the mound the way I could have. Now being almost 40 years old, I appreciate the mound. I appreciate the routine it gives me. I appreciate the safety it gives me. I appreciate that this is mine. And taking the field, I think is something that we've taken for granted. And I think that not until you get older and you can't take the field, or if you try to take the field, you hurt for days. I think that I hope that you guys come out with a better appreciation and a more mature appreciation than what I was at your age, of just how important that field is, how important your team is, how important that mound is. That mound is such a symbol, and it's where I found to be the best version of me, because I had to work really hard to get to earn to take that mound. I think that the other thing right now is realizing your get-tos and your have-tos. I have to try to teach 6th grade math to my son, and I'm horrible at it. But I get to be home with my kids. I think that when you do get to and have tos, you can put yourself in a better mind frame. So you have to stay home and you have to stay 6 feet away from everybody. But you get to work on skills. You get to set up what your day looks like. You get to have a little bit more control over some things that you may not have before. Right now, you have to not be playing on your junior high or high school softball team, but you get to work through habits. You get to pause the season and work on those bad habits. So I think that understanding your get to and have tos and framing it correctly in your mind, because right now I think that that's what's the most detrimental, is that if we can't frame in our mind on a positive spin, whether it be for life or whether it be for pitching, we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage, and that's something that you can control. I think you've got to remember that every day matters. Every single day matters. Reese and I were walking yesterday, and I told her that if she worked every single day, because she's got the time to, if she worked every single day, she could come out on the other side of this having some decent skills as a pitcher, because right now she's got no skills. Having some decent skills as a pitcher. I kind of have a process that I would follow as far as what that looks like. If I were you, I would plan your why. Why are you going to show up every day? And that's a little bit deeper thing than a superficial, because I have to, because I want to play. It can start as that, but I think that you really have to figure out, why are you showing up every day? Then I think you need to make a plan of what that showing up looks like and what that daily plan looks like, and then execute it. Because the thing is that there's so much power in habits, that how we do something is how we do everything. And I believe wholeheartely in that. How we do something is how we do everything. So if you show up and half give your effort, then you're going to do that with everything. And I can tell you, I don't want, when we hire employees and we do whatever, I don't want somebody who gives me half their effort. Not interested in that. Now, that doesn't mean that your workout's perfect, but it means that you've done everything you could, or you've worked on things. So please start building your power of habit. The power of habit, I think, is something that on the other side of this is something that we're going to be able to own and hang on to. That when you own that power of habit, it is yours. It is yours. You own it. That's yours. You created it. So please, please, please take that time to create a positive power of habit. The other thing is that you choose how you come out of this. What's amazing to me is that it's not just a certain school district. It's not just a county. It's not just Ohio. It is the entire nation right now is in kind of in the same boat you are. Some of them are a little bit further behind us. Some of them are just kind of shutting things down now. But I think that we got to realize that you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of girls right now home trying to figure out what to do and trying to get through that process of creating good habits, or trying to grieve the fact that their season's not going to look the way that they planned on. But I think that it's important that you choose how you come out of this. Like I said, all of you have bad habits. I still have bad habits. You have bad habits. That's why you come to me. Those bad habits, man, work on them every day. Why would you not make your bad habit something that ends up being a strength for you? So work on those bad habits every day. It's work, but you've got nothing but time right now, which is such an odd feeling, but you have nothing but time. You have no scheduled game right now that you've got to pitch. You've got nothing but time. Take the time. Break the bad habits. Keep working on the things you're really, really good at, because every one of you are really, really good at something. So keep working on that too. A couple things that I think might help mentally through this. So again, it's all mind frame. So I think that going through and accepting your reality, I think that creating, getting the get to and have to in your brain, creating your why, creating a plan, executing and letting it become habit. I think that's critical. I also think that there's two things that, as you work on your mental toughness, because I'm telling you, a lot of you want to pitch in college, and that is the most mentally exhausting thing that I've ever done. Partially because, in my brain, I had said that I wasn't good enough. And so when I went out on the field, I proved I wasn't good enough. And I almost lost my college scholarship as a result of that. But oh my gosh, there's so much power in that. There's so much power in realizing that sometimes I have to get out of my comfort zone and what I think is okay. And I got to start really small before I can build to where I want to go and create the reality that I want to create, because I have power and I have control over that. One of the ways was through that I was able to come on the other side of that in college was through visualization. So I would spend a lot of time. Now, I will say at the beginning, I could only spend a minute or two. I am one of those people that I would rather work out for 6 hours than take 5 minutes and visualize, or 5 minutes and meditate. Because my brain works very, very quickly. So I want my body to be active like my brain. So to slow my brain down is very, very difficult for me. But visualization. So I would spend, at the beginning it was only a minute or two, and then I could build up to like 10, 15 minutes at a time, visualizing what my body felt like, where that ball went, when I snapped that ball and I released it, where it was going, how I finished at the end, how I stretched through my motion. And then I could start to visualize how my pitches work. So my curveball, I was able to visualize how it would cut and how it would move across. I was able to visualize my rise ball, how I could stay back and how it felt off my fingertips. That through visualizing, so then I would go through and I would start visualizing innings for myself. I really struggled with left-handed slappers. I usually like to hit them, but sometimes, and then you put the really fast girl on base, which is a really poor plan. I don't recommend it. But I used to visualize what pitch I would throw, and I would visualize my curveball and it is staying in nice and tight and like barely hitting their knee. I would visualize all these things. And it's amazing the power of visualization, because that becomes your reality. So your visualization at the beginning might be something really, really simple. It might be pitches, but it also might be visualizing getting up in the morning, visualizing getting your tennis shoes on, visualizing going in and getting a workout in or getting a run in, visualizing then, what your workout looks like. It might be something like that. It might be just seeing yourself get up out of bed when your alarm goes off, or something that's routine, visualizing your routine. That might be step one. And that's a great step to start with. The other thing is meditation. Again, incredibly difficult. And that's something that I am going to start to incorporate into my daily habit or daily schedule. Because I'm really good at the working out thing. I'm good at getting up. I've already, ran 30 minutes. I've already done all of that. I'm really good at that, but I have a really hard time when it is quiet, and when I need to breathe, and when I need to focus, and when I can focus on just the right now, because I want to focus and worry about all the other things that are coming. I want to think about what family vacation is going to look like this summer. I want to think about what this is going to look like. I want to think about how in God's name I'm going to get through math. I want to think about, all of these things that really I can spend a lot of time worrying about them and thinking about them, but it's not going to change the outcome. So, meditating and being in the right now, I think, is going to be critical. And I think it's a skill that if you guys learn as 9-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds, you're going to be able to carry this through. Because what I never want to do is I never want to teach a skill in isolation, meaning that I never want to teach a skill that's only good in that moment for that thing. Like, that's a useless skill. That's a very specific skill. Pitching and teaching pitching has always been foundational for me, because I realize how many little life lessons that we teach and we talk through. I think one of the things that we talk through is that, we're here for help and to talk to each other. And that's what's really hard right now, is that, I know that a lot of you, I'm your weekly routine, and I miss you guys, and I hope you somewhat miss me. But that weekly routine is thrown off of not getting to see you guys. So I think meditation and being in the now is something that you're going to carry through your whole life. Visualization. When I go into a meeting that I'm really, really anxious about, I really visualize how I'm going to be. And if I know that the parent might have a tendency to, for those of you who don't know, I'm administration and education, a parent who's very upset, I might visualize them being really upset and them being very angry at me, and me being able to stay calm on the inside and take some breaths and be able to have a clear head to be able to respond. So I think that visualization is not just pitches and strikes. That's where it started for me, because that's all I was able to pull from. But it turns into seeing yourself perform and be who you want to be, because then your body starts to get there and your mind starts to get there, and your mind is way more important than your skill level. The skills we keep learning and we learn in order to create the habits. But if we don't create healthy mind habits, our physical skill means nothing. Please let me know how I can help you and support you. If you need to be held accountable for your schedule, I'm happy to do that for somebody that's not your parent. I also have, like I said, I work out daily. If you are interested in doing the Peloton, like I said, it's free for 90 days. But if you're interested in that, give me your name and give me your screen name. Mine's Meg, M-E-G, Campbell, C-A-M-P-B-E-L-L 14. So Meg Campbell 14. And so what's cool is that even if it's a past class, we're able to be in the same class together at the same time if you want to take it. So now I can't do like 6 Peloton workouts a day because I'll die. But if that's something, especially for you older girls who need to really keep up on your workouts, let me know. Like, I would love to do a running workout or a HIIT workout or whatever, and be in the same class as you and hold accountability. So let me know what I can do to help you. Keep track of your mind, keep control of your mind, and start to use this time to work through the things as a pause and a reset to work through these things. So I love you guys. I miss you guys, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.